Welcome to the MaSter Debaters, everybody, the show where we solve pop culture's problems one outrage at a time. I'm Abe, co-host of the Movies and Stuff show, which can be seen live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, in theory, right on this channel. And joining me are three other guys who are missing Game 1 of the NBA Finals to be here. First up, it's my cohort of the Movies and Stuff show. What's going on over there? When he's not...
I was going to go watch the game.
Oh, shit.
I was about to go leave.
When Dan's not leaving the show to go watch basketball or perfecting his lawn, he's exerting tremendous pressure on me to go see a shitty X-Men movie. As always, it's it's the man with the plan. It's my man Dan.
If I had to suffer through it, so did you.
Misery loves company. I see that. Second up, it's Mr. Free Market himself. He has vowed tonight to make MaSter Debaters great again. He's the author and lover, Sean from Long Island.
Hi, how's everybody doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Pretty good. It's nice weather, nice night, good company. I'm ready to go.
All right. And finally, it's our new face in town. He calls himself the Big Cheese of Betamax TV. You know, I actually have my girlfriend call me Big Cheese in the throes of passion. He's been a movie reviewer, a video essayist, but he's always been awesome. The one and only John Ari.
Hi, how's it going?
Not too bad, John. How are you?
Great to be here.
Oh, good.
I can't wait to talk some hot dogs.
Yeah. All right, chumps, as you know, this is a debate show. I'm going to throw out three topics to you. I think three. Give you each 60 seconds to make your points. And if you can't get it out in 60 seconds, I'm cutting you off and moving on. I hope you're ready.
Always.
Let's do this. Topic one. Hot dog season is upon us this week. The National Hot Dog Council has informed us all that ketchup is never to be used on a dog. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is the right condiments to use on a hot dog? And Dan, I'm going to start with you.
Well, I hate to say that I agree with them. I mean, I used to grow up with the hot dog with the ketchup and the mustard, and I've been eating that now since I was a kid, and it's got kind of boring. So if I had to go with something, I'm going with sriracha now. Maybe some people think that sriracha is a little overused at this point in time. Maybe it's a little too hipster now, but I don't care. It is awesome. It's garlicky. It's spicy. It just coats the dog really well. In fact, if you want to slice up some jalapenos and really kick it up a notch, you do that too. I don't know, man. Ketchup just seems so old. Maybe if you mix that with like something else, maybe sriracha ketchup. There you go. But not regular ketchup. I think we're done with it. Send it back to wherever it came from. I think China, maybe, right?
Yeah.
China made ketchup. Send it back to China. We don't want it anymore here in the States. Apple pie and sriracha. That's what I got to say.
There you go. Sean, over to you.
Whatever happened
Oh, my
to
goodness. I am so sorry. Sean, over to you.
whatever happened to freedom of choice? The National Hot Dog Council, what kind of like big government totalitarian mausoleum is that? I half expect to see Fritz Weaver in stark black and white at the top of a podium screaming at a bottle of Heinz ketchup and calling it obsolete. This isn't right. I just don't like it. We have the freedom to choose anything we want. Ketchup, mustard, sriracha. Maybe some whiskey on a hot dog would be good. I have tried that, but, I was a little drunk at the time. I don't know. I just say freedom of choice. Everybody, this is America. Hot dogs are as American as they can get. Anything free. That being said, my old man used to call me a communist when I put ketchup on my hot dog, so maybe he was right. I don't know.
Your old man's making a lot of sense. Okay, John, over to you.
I hate to play the Alex Jones card here, but I believe that the National Hot Dog Council is actually just trying to divert our attention away from the fact that hot dogs are pretty gross. They're meat tubes filled with some sort of mystery ingredients. We really don't know what's in there. So this whole ketchup on the hot dog or no ketchup on the hot dog, it doesn't really matter. At the core of this debate, that this issue is the fact that hot dogs are disgusting. And it doesn't really matter what you put on it as long as you put something on it to cover up the taste. They are disgusting, awful. And I would like to suggest maybe, possibly, instead of eating a hot dog, maybe go for a kinder, gentler alternative, like a veggie dog or a tofu dog. You'll get the same flavor, you get the same consistency, and less calories, and it's easier on your heart. And you can put whatever you want on it.
All right, I'm going to cut you off on tofu dogs right there. Tofu dogs.
See, Abe doesn't play around. He gives you the 60 seconds. He cuts you.
Yeah, I do.
I deserve that.
I do. I think Sean's old man would have a few words for you as well. So, but we're all in agreement. Just leave the ketchup alone, right? I mean, that's just okay. Good. So I can deal with that. But yes,
Well, I mean,
sriracha on a dog's pretty good, Dan.
I don't like to eat a lot of hot. I'm actually with John on this. I'm not a huge hot dog fan. I'll once in a while I will do it, but it's too much. It's too much sodium. I can feel my blood pressure rising when I eat one. It just like I go to a ball game. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I get a hot dog, maybe. But now like City Field, like near me, they have like Sean, you've been to City Field,
Yeah,
right? They got
different-
like gourmet freaking burgers and fries, and it's just who wants a hot dog now?
Yeah, pardon the pun, but it's a different ball game when you're eating at a baseball game now. All sorts of gourmet stuff. I do love the big sausages though, and that's what I go for at the games now. Probably no less bad for you than a hot dog, but what are you gonna do?
When you say you like big sausages, you cannot cough immediately after saying that. I'm just
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think as long as you guys are all anti-ketchup, I'm okay with all of you. We can continue on. I'm not punting any of you off. So let's move on to topic number 2 here. CBS debuted a very teasery teaser trailer for the new Star Trek series debuting in 2017. The rumors are that this Star Trek will follow the True Detective Fargo model. One story, one crew, one season. So I want to know, is this a step in the right direction for Trek? I mean, they've always had these long seasons. Should they stick with an episodic model? Should they go with a serialized kind of Game of Thrones model? What do you think, Sean?
I kind of like the idea of a different season, different, crew type of thing. I mean, Star Trek, you do get the name recognition, but also with name recognition, you kind of get like a lot of it's played out. A lot of the stuff, I haven't seen any of the shows since the Next Generation, but, Star Trek could be getting to be as old as like, Leonard Nimoy's corpse. Sorry, I said it. But I like the idea. I like the idea maybe if Fuller can do something artistic with it, like he did with the Hannibal series, even though I didn't particularly love the protagonist. The first season I saw was like so artistic and different. If he can do something with that, I'm all for it. And if it's going to be any half as good as the Fargo show, I think we all win.
All right. Okay, cool. John, I'm punting it over to you.
I think Star Trek is at its best when the show is expanding its universe. And what I mean by that, in my opinion, the best Star Trek series of them all is Deep Space Nine. And one of my reasons for liking that above the others is the fact that I was able to take a lot of the themes and the characters and the cultures that we learned about on the first 2 series and then expand them and with a fresh set of writers and a fresh set of eyes, is able to expound upon those same ideas, but in new ways. So I think having shorter series with different cast members, different crews on different missions in different parts of the universe, I think it's a win-win for everybody involved in the series, especially Trekkies who want to explore new territory, both figuratively and metaphorically. So I'm in big favor of it.
All right. Take it home, Dan.
Well, I think no matter what, something's got to change. I think they really need to do something fresh with Star Trek. Just give it a brand new start. I actually agree with John. Deep Space Nine. I mean, no argument. It's the best one that I've seen. And I love Next Generation. So while I would love to see maybe the Fargo model, I'm also intrigued by like this concept of like almost like Game of Thrones model as well, where you do have these overlapping kind of stories that are interconnected, and taking place in different parts of the universe, and they're all, maybe it's building up to some kind of epic battles, and you're seeing, the Romulan side of things, and just things are being tied together. So you're creating this huge universe without just being, stuck in like one season, one crew. I think that would be fascinating as well. But no matter what, something fresh, something great. I trust Fuller. I think it's going to happen.
All right. Look at that. At the wire. Good job.
That was well done.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. Hannibal makes me nervous, Sean. Hannibal makes me nervous about Star Trek.
Like I said, I mean, I haven't watched a show since The Next Generation, so I'm probably not the best person to ask, but like, why not make it like crazy artistic? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
It didn't work for Hannibal, did it, Dan?
It totally worked for Hannibal.
I mean, with audience,
fantastic.
it didn't connect with audiences.
Who
Fuck
gives
the
a
audience.
crap
Who cares
about the
about the
audience?
audience?
I don't care about the audience. Put a great series out.
Exactly.
The people that will truly appreciate the series will appreciate the series. It's Star Trek. It's got a bigger name than Hannibal in many ways. They tried to sell this Hannibal Lecter character that people knew from these movies, but it was kind of after the fact. It was, when did the last good Hannibal movie come out? It was years after that, and then that was basically they had to erase this concept of that Red Dragon remake and the Hannibal movie. They had to erase that kind of out of people's heads. So you did have fans of Hannibal Lecter. It's like, oh yeah, Silence of the Lambs. They had those fans kind of intrigued, but that show wasn't for them. It's Star Trek, and what the challenge is now to. They better hope that this new movie isn't complete and utter crap, because we've all kind of had that, vision of Into Darkness in our minds, like burned in, and that's what that challenge is up against right now.
So, John, I want to know where do you fall in this? Should they go arty or should they go more populist, or what do you think?
I'd go populist, but it doesn't matter as long as it's different. I think one of the reasons people have fallen out of love with Star Trek is the last two series, Enterprise and Voyager, really clung to a lot of the same cliches that had been set up by the previous series, and just kind of ran the whole searching for new life and new civilizations into the ground. And I think that's one of the reasons I love DS9 is because it really it took a challenge of keeping a crew in one select area and then having all the action happen around them, and instead of trying to explore new territory. So I'd love to see them just try something a little bit different. It doesn't have to be arty or populist. It just has to be interesting characters doing sci-fi things with some kind of general purpose that's higher than shooting aliens or getting your Vulcan first mate naked for ratings.
Well, okay, I don't know if I can get behind that last statement, but all right.
But
talking Enterprise. I mean, I hate that, man. UPN just ruined that. Anyway.
No, I totally agree too, and that's what I was saying before with the whole kind of concept of doing like a Game of Thrones type thing. Because what I liked about Star Trek is I liked the politics. I liked the build-ups to the battles. I like to see these things. I think they did the politics so well compared to, like, think about how like the Star Wars prequels did politics, and then think of how Star Trek did politics. And Star Trek did politics so well, and I was really intrigued by that. And I think they can get some of that buildup if they're crossing these different storylines and these different conflicts that are going on. And at the center of it all is, you have someone trying to keep the peace here, but maybe it's like three factioning governments they're going at it, and you get to see each of them and how they're building up. Just like Game of Thrones, you see the different armies and the different backdoor kind of agreements. I think that would be really neat.
Yeah, it would. Sean, what do you think?
I agree. The politics of Star Trek are always better, and I think especially that the first series, the original, it was related to the times, which is what everybody says great science fiction is. It gives you this story, a fantasy story, but it's rooted in, society, to be a metaphor and to satirize it or to, pick apart like the stuff that sucks in it. And I would be cool with that, but are we going to get like the Romulans and the Vulcans, or are we going to get completely new, people? And like, do they want the old stuff, or are they going to be looking forward to the new stuff? I think it might be interesting to find out.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is interesting, and I think the one thing this one season, one story kind of has going for it is they can bounce around the Star Trek timeline and just in different eras. They can go way in the future. They can go right up to in Picard's time or Kirk's time if they wanted to. I think that's a really interesting freedom they found themselves with something like this.
Please no alternate universe BS though.
Hey now, the mirror universe was pretty cool in Deep Space Nine.
I didn't see that, so.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. Well, I think we're all looking forward to it, and I'm willing to bet we're going to have a few more topics about Star Trek between now and 2017. Let's move on to topic 3. Marvel Comics recently announced that Captain America is actually a sleeper agent for Hydra. This caused quite a stir, if we can say stir. I don't even know if that's the right word to say this, rants and raves among comic book fans. Looking at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you think they should follow suit and make Cap an agent of Hydra? And John, it's your turn to start first. Let's go.
Well, for one thing, Hydra's been dissolved according to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so there is no real Hydra for Captain America to lead. Second, one of the great things about comic books is they have the ultimate amount of freedom and time to expound on stories, to change the characters however they want to. But in the end, they always get back to the status quo. Whichever reader or writer is writing Captain America or Spider-Man or any character, whatever changes they make to him, they always reverse just in time to hand that character over to another author. And that's something that the MCU doesn't really have time to do. They don't have time to make a great change in these characters and then hand them off to another director or producer. There's only a finite amount of movies you can make with Chris Evans, and I don't think the Hydra sleeper agent story is really worth a retelling when you have so many other robust stories to tell.
All right, Dan, what do you think?
I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe should do something interesting. I don't disagree with John here in regards to you don't have a lot of films, you don't have that luxury of being able to do it, but why not give it a shot of making one of the main good guys a bad guy? Heck with it. And then you, as you mentioned, you don't have a lot of time with Chris Evans, so maybe you make him into a bad guy for a film or two and do what they do with every bad guy in comic book films and just kill him at that point. It's like, well, we know we got Chris Evans for one more film, let's make him a bad guy and then kill him and then bring in another Captain America or Captain Woman America or Captain Alien America. I don't know. At that point, you can just bring in someone totally different to wear the red, white, and blue and hold the shield and do all that fun stuff and have Spider-Man steal the shield. And what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, stay out of my booze.
There you go. All right, Sean, close us out, man.
3 words for you. Darth freaking Vader. He could be the tragic figure of the Marvel comic universe. The good guy who is supposed to be unflappable, unbreakable, liberty, justice for all, and he turns to the dark side. I think it could be a really interesting thing. Chris Evans, it could be an actual interesting acting thing for him to do, but will they do it? I doubt it. As we've seen with Disney, they seem to be, fairly soft, they probably don't think it would be good box office and stuff like that. Like John said, I think it's easier for them to do it in the comics because they can always go back and they always have different series and stuff like that. But I think it would be kind of cool. It would just be pretty interesting to do. And I think it would really shock people, even though they would be expecting it since it happened in the comics. So who knows?
That was interesting. I never really thought about the Darth Vader potential comparison there. That's pretty cool.
Well, I have a tattoo of Darth Vader, so I think about him often.
All right, yeah. You said Disney doesn't have the guts to do it?
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I actually think that's probably the case. I think Disney is shying away from all the controversy they possibly can. This was really controversial. This had fans creating past people that have worked on the comics before just to complain. So it's pretty crazy. What do you think, John? Is Disney shy about entering into something so controversial?
Well, we don't even know where the story's going. This could be a four issue arc. We really don't know. He could be a double agent. Who knows? This is actually one of the reasons I don't really enjoy reading single issues of comics. I'd much rather read the trade so I can just get all of this narrative all at once rather than have it parsed out over time and overthink it and get angry or excited about it without really any good reason. This is one of the reasons I absolutely hate nerd fan culture, because they just go off on the stupidest things. You don't know where the story's going. Just chill out, guys. Chill out.
Dan, do you agree with that? Should nerd culture? Yeah.
Totally agree. I totally agree. When they made the announcement, my first initial thought is like, yeah, sure. For how many issues? Like, Superman's dead for how many issues? Yeah, it's simple as that. John hit the nail on the head before. It's like, it's only a matter of time before the status quo is put back in order, because that is what is known. That is what is expected. And eventually it's going to be revealed that, yeah, he was a double secret probation agent, like working multiple, and maybe there's a third organization that we don't even know about that he's actually the leader of, that is infiltrating both S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra. Who knows? We don't know where it's going. But to get back to the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing is, John is probably right. They don't have enough time. They already have this slate of movies that are set up, and it's not going to happen in the next 3 or 4 Infinity Wars movies or whatever. It's not going to happen then. And by then, Chris Evans is going to be 50. So, we're going to have maybe it's the old Captain America. Maybe he finally ages, and then that's who he starts doing maybe he's in like a wheelchair and his arm's kind of a little crippled, and he's like trying to stand up and like holding his arm down like Dr. Strangelove. Maybe that's what's going to happen. I don't know.
I would like that. I would like that if they Dr. Strangelove Cap.
Well, in a way, we already have that character in Bucky. I mean, he was a good guy who ended up turning bad.
He has the arm even, yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, not anymore, but.
Oh my God! Spoilers, gentlemen. Spoilers.
I mean, maybe not. Sorry.
All right, Sean. Any last thoughts?
No, the controversy is good for them to announce it, but they have to deliver with the story and stuff. And like John and Dan have said, it's probably some cheesy thing. Remember like the previews, the coming attractions of next week's show, when they show somebody dead, they're never dead. He's probably hypnotized for a few episodes and something, and then, he's going to be good old Captain America again.
Okay. Yeah, I think you guys are probably right. What do you feel like up for a quick little bonus?
Let's do a bonus round.
Do a bonus round? Okay.
It's good.
Let's do a bonus question.
And it's a mystery. He's not even like letting us know.
No, I'm not going to let you know at all. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Rogue One reshoots are definitely happening. The execs screened the movie and felt it was tonally off about what a classic Star Wars movie should feel like. The goal of the reshoots will be to lighten the mood and bring some levity into the story and restore a sense of fun to the adventure.
Check, please.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to get in depth. I just kind of want to know what that makes you feel. What emotional response does that cause? Dan, we're going to start with you.
I mean, how many times do we have to see the same story over and over again? Reshoots. Oh, they got to make it funner. They got to make it more Suicide Squad. They're doing more reshoots. Every single movie, especially big movies, do reshoots. It's as simple as that. Now, am I saying that there's maybe a hint of truth that screenings are going poorly? It depends. Who's doing the screenings? Is it the executives that are, the Disney people that are like, oh, well, we need more, little fuzzy things that are running around that, who knows what is actually going on here. But anytime I hear the word reshoots, it actually just makes me mad that people get so up at arms about this. Every movie's going to do reshoots. When you're that big of a film, you're editing it out. You're putting in some special effects and things like that. You're going to realize that stuff isn't lining up, that stuff isn't working, so you're going to have to reshoot it, bring people back. When people sign contracts, actors, they know that's going to happen, so deal with it.
Oh, nice. Sean, take it.
I agree with him on the reshoots thing. The part that scares me is the light in the mood. Have these people never seen a fucking Star Wars movie? Even the original ones, I'm talking about the original ones, they had their moments of humor, but it was based on real human interaction. It wasn't slapstick. It wasn't little fuzzy tribbles running around or anything like that. That's where they got into trouble with the second ones. It was real human, interaction. And now I know I'm not getting my Casablanca in space. And that was another movie, not a comedy, but that had funny stuff in it. Just witty dialogue, well-written characters. That's what makes things funny. That's what makes our everyday lives funny. I don't know. I just don't like the lighten the mood thing. Not good. But whatever. It'll probably be some slapstick, stupid. Oh, I'm kind of mad now.
Okay. John, what does that make you feel?
A little disappointed. One of the reasons I was getting excited about these one-off movies is I understood them to be sort of a divergence from what we had seen before, getting a little bit different sense of tone and seeing the underbelly side of this universe. And Rogue One definitely promised that in the trailers, and it didn't need to be funny to get me excited or to get me hooked. That trailer did it fine with showing us interesting characters doing really exciting, courageous stunts in the face of overwhelming odds, which to me sounds just like a really, really fun story. So I'm a little disappointed, but it's way too early in the process to get worked up about this. We really don't know what they're dealing with, what Garrett Evans was wanting to deliver as opposed to what the Disney execs wanted him to deliver. So we'll just wait and see.
All right. You know what? If I feel Batman versus Superman fallout, that's just in my core. That's just what I feel. Like they're like, oh my God, people don't like serious movies anymore. We've got to make it fun. That just, when I hear that's the nightmare I have, is that because that movie only made $800 million, this is where we're sitting. What do you think?
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I really agree with you. I think that a lot of people are probably thinking that, but I hope that that's not the case. I'm with John when he said that these one-off movies were supposed to be something a little different. They were supposed to show a different side of Star Wars, something that wasn't necessarily completely tied to the entire narrative, but has these loose connections to it. So they were supposed to be its own identity. That's why you're bringing in all these different directors with different visions to do it. So to try to make it all seem the same is just boring. And we're all going to get bored after a while. Well, I guess not, because people still go see those Marvel movies and they're the same thing over and over again. So.
Sean, isn't that a concern? I have to agree with Dan that Star Wars could actually get boring again.
No, it definitely can and probably will. I thought the same as John and Dan, and that was one of my first things when I heard about these one-off movies. I was like, wow, this is where they can really get artistic and give us something different, like maybe even a black and white Star Wars movie. But and they would still make money. And again, I'm going to get back to there was never a Star Wars movie that had fucking slapstick. Yes, they were funny, but that's because they were written well, acted well, you cared about the characters, and tension gave us comedy. Another movie, not a comedy that was funny, Jaws. Same thing. You don't need to make it slapstick to, make everybody laugh. That's just my opinion.
I agree with that. All right, John, give us some final words on this, some final thoughts.
Well, you had brought up Batman versus Superman, which was just a terrible movie. And one of the great things about Rogue One was there was more plot, and you could tell exactly what the story was and what the narrative was and what the motivations were for the characters. In that 2 minutes of trailer, there was more story in that 2 minutes of trailer than there was in the 3 hours of Batman versus Superman. So
killing me, Ari, killing me.
Oh, sorry, but I it might be an overreaction to Batman versus Superman, but I also think that they really want a populist crowd pleaser, and I think they're going to try and expand it to as a general audience as they can, which I think is a mistake. But hey, that's their prerogative.
I know I said the last words, but does anybody want to react to that, or are you just going to let that just go?
I think we'll have Ari on some other time to talk about Batman v Superman.
I think so. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for doing this. It's been a lot of fun. John, what have you been up to right now? Anything we should be looking out for?
Oh, I'm just messing around with this Roku channel I'm made with a bunch of weird old movies and weird horror hosts who talk about movies. So it's called Betamax TV. It's on your Roku. If you got a Roku, you gotta check it out.
Sean, you still writing?
Yes.
All right. Anything we're going to be able to read soon?
I'm going to write some stuff for the Supernauts next week. Trying to finish up my novel, and I'm trying to start up my own website soon.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. Dan, what the hell are we doing next Tuesday?
We are doing a top 10 list, I believe. We're going to do top 10 music in scenes in movies or something like that. I haven't come up with the title for it, but just think of classic movie scenes that featured a song in some kind of capacity. I'll find the phrasing for it, but that's kind of what we're doing next
the
Tuesday.
coolest music or coolest
music scenes or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Cool.
Dan, will the scene from Apocalypse be in there? X-Men Apocalypse?
Eurythmics?
Eurythmics, it won't be, but it was still a pretty good scene, surprisingly.
But no, your point was so well taken. Yeah, that was a great scene in Days of Future Past.
Very good. And thank you all for watching. If you could, we'd really appreciate it if you could like the video, maybe comment tell John why tofu dogs are terrible.
They're really good. If you put enough ketchup on them.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
This might be the last time we get him on. Yeah, and if you haven't, we would really, really appreciate it if you could subscribe to our channel. So, you get those little push alerts when we're broadcasting. That'd be awesome, because sometimes we don't always get them out on time. So instead of sitting here watching a blank YouTube channel, you would just get the alert and you could come right to it. That'd be really great.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a blast. I can't wait to do this again in 2 weeks.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.